Got my little quarter panel in situ now. I'm just trying to make that side fit. I've even got a better gap there now. Right, so I've finally got everything lined up. My only problem is I don't have enough clamps, and I've got 18 clamps, so I'm probably going to have to buy a few more clamps. But I've put the little quarter panels in. You can see them down in that corner, so I'm ready to weld now. I've obviously got to tap a little bit up here and there, but I see a lot of people tapping and making sure everything's lined up properly. What I'm going to do now, I've got some old panels from work. So a car was in last week, and I'm not sure whether, I think this is off a Volvo, I'm not 100% sure. So I just want to test my welder before I start welding, because I want to make sure that it's right. I'm not that brilliant at welding, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to make some cuts along here and then start seam welding them, if that's what you call it. And then I've got some other metal, and I'm going to do some plug welds in it, just to make sure that my welder's set up properly, because it's not set up. It wasn't set up before, and my welding was terrible, and everything was just falling off, and it wasn't good. And then a guy mentioned setting my welder up a little bit differently, and when I did that, the welds were 100 times better. The penetration were beautiful, but that was a few weeks ago. So before I start welding again, I'm going to do some practice runs. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this panel ready now, and I'm going to do some plug welds as well. I've got some little cut-offs, which these. So I'm going to get these two panels and then plug weld them together. So I'll do about 4 or 5 down there and see if I get good penetration before I even attempt to start welding that, because that boot floor isn't the best. You know, I'm not 100% happy with it, but it's a boot floor. It's going to have a spare wheel in it, it's going to have a tank in it. The underneath, you're not really going to see it that much, so I'd rather have the crappy welding where you don't see it that well, if you know what I mean. So that's what I'm going to do in the meantime, and obviously order some more clamps, because I need to, if I'm welding that one, I want a clamp here and I want a clamp there, so that I'm clamping them really tight to the metal, and I nearly forgot to do those. You know, I think that it's some sort of, I think it's when the latch hits it. So that's what I'm doing. We'll see how we get on. Just looking at the gaps on there when I've been moving it about a bit to make it fit a little bit better. I've got that a little bit fitting a bit better, but it's sort of pulled it down a little bit here. I'm sure it'll be alright. I've got that gap better. That gap's better. The gap down here is better. Still the same here. You know, I've got that hole there, so I'm going to work off that hole. That hole slightly. See if I get that hole right, it moves that hole off, and vice versa. But what I'll do, I'll just drill through. But that hole's perfect, but then it starts knocking other things off. You can't win. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to get on with doing some practice welding. So what I've done, I've made it look like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to weld these up, and hopefully it'll look good. If not, back to the drawing board. I've got the whole panel to work on. So you know what I'm going to do. If I don't get these right, I'm going to work my way along to make sure I get them right, and also I've made that so that I can do some spot welds, plug welds, and let's see how we go there. So I'll just clean those up a little bit. That one's a bit bitty, that little bit there's alright. But my penetration looks quite good there. I'm going to make some more cuts now, practice more. That, apart from that little, that last one I did, that's pretty good. That's got full penetration. I mean, they all got penetration, but that one's really good. Just a little snip off that bit. Now the welder that spoke to me, who's a welder at my place, has said do not grind off the back of the weld. Grind the front but leave the back of it, because that's where all the strength is. So when you see me doing it, you'll not see me grinding off the inside. I will leave that as it is, because there's all the strength in the metal, obviously. So that bit I'll be welding off, because obviously I've got to fill that up, haven't I? So imagine that weld there, in there. So the underneath, I'll leave the weld, I don't grind it off, I just grind the outside. Now that's what this welder guy's told me. I might just have a little do at grinding that one off there. Let's see what it... That is really nice, that. But that's my opinion. I reckon if I did that one there, that'd come out the same. That one's not that good because it blew through a couple of times. I'll probably, before I start welding, I'll have this piece here and I'll start practicing on this before I go on to the Mini, so that I can get it like that and like that. That was my first starter. That's not bad, but it's not as good as those two. That's not bad, but it's not as good as those two. And like I said, you'll not see me grinding off the back of that, because there's its strength. If I take that off, there's no strength in it. So when you see me welding, I'll only be doing one side. Probably just snip that little bit off there. I will get better, probably when I finish welding. Anyway, that's enough for me today. It's nearly 5 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, and I don't think people want to be listening to me grinding and welding and compressors going off and God knows what. So what I'm probably going to do is get another piece of metal ready, because that's not good enough, that. So I'm going to get another piece of metal ready and I'll practice my plug welding again. It's sort of getting out of it, but it's nowhere near. So I'll probably be able to rip that off. I'll see if I can rip it off now. first welds has gone already. No. Those are okay. Those aren't, because that one's fallen off. Those are stuck, but I want a bit more penetration than that. So I'm going to get another piece of metal, cut it off and do the same again.